Next up, I'm going to show you how you list more profitable items onto your store using Salefreaks' unique automation tools. Using the listing wizard and the locator, what we can do is we can scan thousands of Amazon items, filter them down to find the best ones, and list them automatically onto your eBay store. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to click on the listing wizard, which is located at the top of the dashboard, and then we're going to select new on the right hand side. As you can see, this is opening a pop-up box which allows us to then type in a URL or an ASIN. The URL allows us to scan multiple Amazon products from a page, or you can type in the ASINs if you've already sourced those products yourself and you want to list them. For now, we're going to look at the URLs. So what we need to do is go into amazon.co.uk and we're going to search a category. So we're going to pick quite an appealing category. So let's go for garden and outdoors. And the idea of what we're looking to do here is narrow down the search to a smaller number of best rated items that meet our price bracket and meet the prime shipping standards. So what we want to do is just select the garden and outdoors and then click on search. If you want to search for a niche product, you can type in that product or that niche in the top of the search bar. It's equally as effective. So on the left hand side, we've got some options. The first option I always tick is prime. This ensures any of the items that are on the page are fulfilled by prime delivery. Next up, we want to look at the Amazon reviews or the Amazon star count. So generally speaking, I'll always go for 3 stars and above. If you want to filter it down a little bit lower, you've got a lower item limit, or you want to be even more selective, you can click on 4 stars. Okay, so as you can see, you've got a results of 40,000. So this is 40,000 results of Amazon items on the various pages that we've got listed here. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to lower this. We're going to need to narrow this down a little bit more. On each Salefreaks account, according to your package, you've got a maximum number of results. You can find out that total on your locator page. It shows up in the top right hand corner, and I'll show you that at some point in this video. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to narrow it down even further. So let's say we want to look for items that are priced between £20 and £50. Whilst low priced items are good to drive traffic, I find that most of my sales come in this price range. So this has narrowed the results down to 20,000. I want to narrow it down just a little bit further again. So under the seller bracket, I'm going to click only sold by amazon.co.uk. Why I'm going to do this? Generally speaking, Amazon have better stock. We know that they're always going to be prime delivery, and we're going to have less issues if we have returns or items not received. So we're just going to narrow it down to amazon.co.uk. This also takes out the Amazon EU, which sometimes can be a little bit longer for shipping times and causes some more issues that way. So if we click amazon.co.uk, as you can see, it's narrowed it down to around 4,000 results. So for me, this is probably as close to perfect as I'm going to get. So what you want to do is you want to take the URL, you want to copy it, and then we want to take it over into the listing wizard, and we're going to paste it in here. Then we're going to push the next button, which will take us to the next page. So what we have here are 3 options. The bottom option is no longer an option, so we don't need to worry about this. So now we're left with 2, the search and compare and the speed search. And as you can see here, for search and compare, we select this option to compare the items in your search criteria to the marketplace and get a ranking and profit results. So it does take longer to scan, but we're going to be able to filter that down and find those winning items easier using a search and compare. The speed search, this option is quickly to list without comparing to the marketplace. So let's say, for example, you find a product on Amazon and you 100% want to list that product. This way you don't need to search and compare it because you want to list it. So you can go ahead and use a speed search and list that product straight away without comparing it against the competition. That could be a niche product. It could be a product that you've potentially seen another dropshipper selling and you want to use it. This will come up more and more as you learn Salefreaks and you learn dropshipping. So right now what we want to do is we want to search and compare, and then we want to push next. Next up is how we want to filter the products. So first of all, we've got selling rank on the marketplace. So as you can see, these range from super hot right down to cold, and then we've got not competitive and no competition detected. First of all, we want to take off the bottom 2 boxes. If there's no competition detected or no competition on the item, the chances are those items aren't selling very well and they're not selling by dropshippers. It's not to say in future you can find items that aren't selling by other people and still sell those items, but right now what we want to do is piggyback on other people's successes. We want to find items that actually sell well. Items that sell well already on eBay, you're generally going to have more success with. So let's say this is a new account. We've got quite low seller limits. We're quite new to eBay. We have limited space and we don't want to list too many items. You're going to want to focus on the super hot and the very hot items. As you grow your account and as you want to list more items, naturally you can venture into hot and warm. For now, what we're going to do is look at super hot and very hot. These tend to be selling multiple times in a 30-day period. Next up, we've got Amazon review counts. So these are the total number of reviews the actual product has on Amazon. So for example, if the product has got 5 stars but only 1 review, that may not be the most accurate of reviews, because the next 2 reviews could come in at 1 star and then bring that star rating down. So what I like to do is make sure that I've got at least 10 reviews. And what I'll do is I'll just uncheck that box. Okay, so that's cool. If you want to have if you want to have more reviews, you can do, but I think taking off below 10 is a good enough starting point. We already filtered it to 4 stars and above, but let's just be careful. If any have slipped through the net, we want to make sure that they're still 4 stars, 4 to 5 stars. For the vendor type, I want to be selecting Prime. And for the profit percentage margin, for me, I like to set this a little bit lower than what my profit ranges are set on Salefreaks. So if I've got my margin set at 4 to 5%, for example, on a starting off account, I'll put this generally at even just 1% or 2%. Because your pricer will do the work for you. Your repricer will change your profit margins to match regardless of what the profit shows on this item. And with dropshipping, you don't always have to be the cheapest to be the top ranked seller. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you prefer to look at it from a monetary profit point of view, you can put in greater than a certain number, so that would be $1 or £1. I personally prefer to work with the profit percentage. If you wish to exclude any keywords, you can do so here. If you wish to search for something containing a certain keyword, you can also do so here as well. This would be more for if you were looking for a certain niche product and you wanted it to contain a certain word in the title, if you were looking for that specific niche, and then not containing, if you were searching a certain category but you didn't want a certain item to be included, you could use that. So for example, if you were searching for home and kitchen items, you may wish to have the keyword knives excluded, as knives are restricted on eBay. But that's just an example. So for now, we're not going to use that. And then competitors. So generally speaking, the lower the competition, the more chance you have to sell the item. If you can imagine, if you search for a particular exact item on eBay and you've got 30 sellers on that listing, you could be ranked anywhere from the top of page 1 to the bottom of page 3 or 4. So the smaller, the better. I like to go with something less than 10. With less than 10, you'll generally end up on the first page. And then once we've finished all those boxes, we will just click on next. Now we can make a tag, so you can call this anything, so you can go back and refer to that at any point. I'm just going to call mine test. Next, we want to select the account the eBay account that they're going to be listed to. And we keep the template as default. And I would suggest not forcing 0. If you wish to have a max limit set, then we can also do that here. So let's say we only want 5 items to be listed in this out of this particular session. We can choose 5, or if we want them all to be listed, we can click all. If you're a new dropshipper, again, going back to the things that I've said in earlier videos, you probably want to restrict the amount of items that are being listed on your eBay per day, especially if you've already got other options set to list items automatically. So for this, I'm just going to select 5. When you're done, you just click on generate.